course. As we are learning more and more in our Czech course for beginners, I have decided it's time to dig a little bit deeper into the Czech grammar. So today we are gonna have a look at the Czech grammatical genders. The Czech language has 3 different grammatical genders: masculine, feminine, and neuter. If we speak about people, then the grammatical gender is usually the same as the real gender of that person. For example, when we speak about a male teacher, učitel, then it's a male, it's a guy, right? And the gender is also masculine. If we speak about the female teacher, učitelka, then the grammatical gender is also feminine. However, not all the nouns represent just people. Not all the nouns are animate, are alive, because there are lots of objects around us in our life, and even these objects in the Czech language have to have a grammatical gender. For example, sofa, the sofa I'm sitting on, pohovka, in the Czech language is feminine, while table, stool, is masculine. So all the objects around us have their grammatical gender in the Czech language. And the aim of this video is to help you navigate through the Czech nouns and try to remember some basic rules how to differentiate between the 3 grammatical genders. Like if we see a new noun, how do we know whether it's masculine, feminine, or neutral? About 2/3 of the Czech nouns belong to the group of easily recognized nouns, like the nouns where you can easily recognize whether they are masculine, feminine, or neutral. These words usually have these endings: o for neuter nouns, then a for feminine nouns, and then the masculine nouns usually end with a consonant. So these are 3 rules that are very basic, quite easy to remember, and they are valid for about 2/3 of the Czech nouns. However, there is 1/3 of the Czech nouns left, right? So now let's have a look at them in more detail. Let's first have a look at the group of the neuter nouns, which seem somehow to be the easiest one to master. Apart from the ending o, which is the most typical one for neuter nouns, there are 2 more possible endings. One of them is I, like the long I s čárkou, or dlouhé I as we call it in the Czech language. So this could be, for example, the word zrní, or stavení. It's not that necessary to know words with this ending at this point. Still, the ending o is much more common. And then there is another possible ending, which is e or je, like s háčkem. These words divide into 2 groups. One group is quite useful. It's the group of children. One child is in the Czech language called dítě, and it's neuter. And then it's also true for all the animal children, like when you have a puppy, it's štěně, again it's neutral, or kotě, kitten, kotě, again it's neuter. So or s háčkem is very useful for these things, and then there are a couple of more words which end with or s háčkem, je. and they are also neuter, like parkoviště, parkoviště, parking lot, or moře, moře, which is the sea. So the three possible endings for the neuter words. O, as in město, město, the city. Then or s háčkem, as in dítě, dítě, a child. And as in zrní. The second group we are gonna analyze are the feminine nouns. The feminine nouns, as we've already said, usually end with a. A is the typical ending for feminine nouns. However, feminine nouns can also end in or s háčkem, just as the neuter nouns. So we have to be really careful in the group of the ending or je as háčkem, because those words could be either neuter or feminine. Some examples of feminine words ending in or s háčkem could be růže, a rose is feminine, or some people like sportovkyně, it's a sportswoman, and there we will guess the gender correctly, right? Because we see it's a woman, so she's gonna be feminine gender, feminine grammatical gender. There is also another group of nouns which are of feminine gender, and they end with a consonant. I know that I said at the beginning that the nouns ending in a consonant are usually masculine, right? But there is also a group of nouns ending in a consonant which are actually feminine. But these nouns usually only have a consonant which belongs to the so-called soft consonants in the Czech pronunciation. So let's have a look what are some typical soft consonants in the Czech language. And usually it's those ones that sound really weird to the speakers of English, for example. They are the ones which have the háček on them, like this sign. So, soft consonants. Ž, č, š, r, c, j, g, j, ň. Ž, š, č, r, c, j, g, j, ň. You can see that actually my mouth stays in a very similar position when I am saying all of these soft consonants. It's like j, sh, ch, r, c, j, g, j, ň. So these are soft consonants, and they are like the possible usual consonants that are a sign of a feminine gender in a noun. But for example, t is also quite a typical feminine ending in words, like in cost. Cost is a bone and it's feminine, and there are lots of words ending in ost, which are all feminine, like starostlivost, pečlivost. So we see all these ost things like cost, they will be declined according to the rules of the word cost, bone. So that's for the feminine words, for the feminine grammatical gender. And last but not least, probably the most complicated grammatical gender in the Czech language is the masculine. The masculine grammatical gender has 6 different patterns according to which the nouns can be declined, while the 2 genders before, the neutral and feminine, only have 4 such patterns each, but the masculine one has 6 different patterns, and 2 of those patterns actually don't end in a consonant. I said at the beginning that the consonant is a sign of a masculine gender, but it's not valid in 100% of cases. We have also 2 types of masculine nouns which end with a and e, but they are quite in a minority, so we can skip those for now. Just know that not all the words ending in a or e are feminine, or in the case of a, feminine or neutral. So those are the ones that are like exceptions, a and e. But the vast majority of masculine nouns end with a consonant. And now, there are 2 things we have to pay attention to when talking about masculine nouns. The first one is whether the word is animate or inanimate. What does it mean? Animate are those things that are alive, like people or animals, like something that is the heart beating, you know, when it's alive. Then those words are animate. While the things such as a table or an house, they are inanimate. They are not alive. Okay? Some things such as a robot, in the Czech language, robot, by the way, this word actually was created in the Czech language, so it's originally Czech. Robot is a thing that we could say it's not alive, right? It does not have a heart, but still in the Czech grammar it's actually animate, so it's alive according to the Czech grammar. But otherwise, usually the objects that are not alive are inanimate, and the people or professions, like something that applies to people or animals, those are animate. And the second thing we have to pay attention to are the endings. Again, the consonants that work as the endings. I have already mentioned when speaking about the feminine nouns that the Czech consonants they can be soft, like the ones that we were using with the feminine nouns, but they can also be hard. And some of them are like ambiguous. They cannot decide whether they are hard or soft, so they are something in between. And when deciding which pattern we are gonna use with the Czech animate or inanimate masculine nouns, we have to. One thing that can help us determine which pattern we are gonna use is the softness or hardness of the consonant used. So, some nouns end with soft consonants. We have already learned the soft consonants when talking about the feminine nouns. Let's just repeat them one more time. Je, sh, ch, r, c, y, g, k, ny. All these weird consonants that don't exist in English, for example, those are all soft consonants. And the nouns, the masculine nouns ending with those consonants will belong to one group of the masculine nouns. And the other group usually ends with hard consonants. So the hard consonants in the Czech language are h, h, k, r, d, t, n. I'm not sure if I said them now in the correct order. H, h, k, r, g, d, t, h, h, k, g. Oh, well, But anyway, it's these ones. H, h, k, r, g, d, t, n. Okay, they sound really hard, right? And they are usually created somewhere here in your throat. It's not like j, sh, ch, r, but it's h, h, k, r, g, d, t, n. So they are created somewhere here in your throat. So those are the hard consonants. The rest is the ambiguous consonants, the ones that have not decided whether they belong to the hard ones or the soft ones. So we have to be a little bit careful with those. Those are b, f, l, m, p, s, v, z. B, f, l, m, p, s, v, z. In the case of the masculine nouns, these ambiguous consonants usually go together with the hard consonants. So they form the nouns of the same group. Only l and s are kind of tricky. They usually work rather with the soft consonants, l and s. For example, in the word učitel, l is an ambiguous consonant, but the pattern which the word učitel is gonna use is the same as with the soft consonants. So l and s somehow in this case belong more to the group of j, sh, ch, r, c, y, j, k, n, and then l and s. I'm not saying that you should learn all of these by heart, because I know it's difficult. It's more so that you can maybe note down all these different groups, so that when you meet a new Czech noun, you can try to start like analyzing which gender it actually belongs to, and it will help you with your future learning. So let's just try to now at this point have a look at the Czech nouns and realize that they don't belong to one group. Grammatically, they actually belong to 3 different groups according to their grammatical gender: masculine, feminine, or neutral. And this is something that is gonna be very useful in the future, because it influences other things as well, especially the Czech adjectives, because Czech adjectives, they always combine together with their nouns, and they have to have the same grammatical gender as the noun that they are linked to. So it's not just for nouns, this like grammatical gender thing, it's also for other things. For example, for the adjectives, or for the numerals even in some cases, like jedna, because jedna is 1, but we have to differentiate whether it goes together with a masculine, feminine, or neutral noun, because if it's masculine, then it's jeden. If it's feminine, then it's jedna, and if it's neutral, then it's jedno. For example, jedno pivo, 1 beer. So, well, I don't want to scare you with these. It's just really to have some basic understanding of the Czech grammatical gender. And now that we have these basics, next time we are gonna have a little look at the Czech cases, or one of the Czech cases, the 4th one, which is, apart from the first one, which you already know without even knowing about it, the 4th one is the second most useful. So that will be the topic of the next video. So I hope this was useful for you guys, and well, see you next time, and I hope that these videos about Czech grammar are gonna be helpful for you. So, oh, Camila's coming and he spoiled my video.
Sorry.
Ciao.